Good morning, everyone.
Hello, beautiful people and both of the ugly ones. Good morning, everybody.
Oh my God. You calling them ugly? That's so mean.
I only said it to two
Good
of them.
morning, beautiful everybody. Good morning, Puddin. Who is this? Ronnie Radke. We're going to talk about Ronnie Radke. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Good morning, Tevia. Good morning. No, I don't. Gary. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Punk. He says, the only reason I know this fucking piece of shit is he was dating Paige/Ciara. Yeah, they did a song together. It was absolutely abysmal. It was one of the worst songs of the year, not even joking. Good morning, Hooded. He says, good morning, pretty lady Tristan. I bow to you, Asian Joe. May your day be as brown and streaky like Robert's underwear. Okay.
Good morning, guys. How are
you? Oh my God.
I hope
Raymond says Radke is a pathetic loser. That is.
We're all doing a lot better than he did. Let's just start with the biggest part of that news right away. He sued the wrong Anthony Fontano.
The wrong Anthony Fontano, and to my understanding, in the wrong state.
Yeah. So remember, we were looking for it out here. And he was sued out of Los Angeles Superior Court. And remember, we were reading the complaint. We said, hey, look, Tony has a middle name. That's interesting. We didn't know that. And then now we found out, the case got moved to Connecticut, not because the case was weak, but it was. That's what I thought at first. It actually got moved to Connecticut because they found the wrong Anthony Fontano the first time they filed this lawsuit. The good fucking going. The proven jackass.
I love how Todd said finally something that isn't Rivals for once. Hey, yesterday we played Overwatch.
And you doubled your viewership, by the way.
I know. I think people like seeing the because a lot of people started with Overwatch and then kind of migrated to Rivals because it ended up being a pretty good fucking game. And we went backwards, and a lot of people thought that was really cool. The fucking Robert says again with the stalking and projection from Hooded. I mean,
hey, if he's stalking,
be a day that
he knows what he sees. He knows what he sees with his face pressed against the second story window.
Yeah, or in the closet, either one.
His heavy breathing.
Oh anyway. My God.
Okay, yeah, so that was I think Anthony's already made 2 videos in response.
Yeah,
because
I watched both of them. They were both. I mean, honestly, we knew the case was weak. Right? Yeah. There was actually. I want to go back, and I don't know if they're still there, but there was a bunch of comments on that video that we originally did that were like, "Well, you just wait and see. You just wait and see what Ronnie's gonna do." Did you happen to watch the video on the Falling in Reverse channel from, I know Anthony responded to it, but it was the video. Okay. So I only watched the response, right? But then I went to the video itself on the Falling in Reverse channel that Ronnie had made. And the comments do not disappoint. They do not. Every comment is roasting him. And there's a few people that are like, take it on the chin, Ronnie. We got you, buddy. But most of the comments are like, this is a 40-something-year-old man mad over,
I can't stand this guy. He just looks like the kind of guy that sweats uncontrollably.
I mean, yeah. And the funniest part to me, so I have been following Falling in Reverse since the early 2000s, right? It's been a long time I've been a fan of them. Not so much anymore, but I was
prior to the time you got blocked.
Yes, that's when I started to hate him. What I want to show here is because I have known them for so long, right? This is the video that I was talking about. And I don't even have to play the video to show you.
Look at him pucker up his lips as he prepares to put blood.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He got lip injections.
Did he really?
He got lip injections. Look at his top lip.
You know what's funny? And I've always said he looks like Blair White.
Oh my God. They probably She probably gave him a recommendation to where she gets all her surgery
Gave him
done.
more than a recommendation.
Oh my God. Lip injections, you guys.
Someone had to settle his feelings because well, obviously he's hurt. Okay, so let's actually explain what happened here. So Anthony wins the lawsuit and he wins all the lawyers' fees. That's a benefit of the anti-slap motion.
Yes.
So what the anti-slap motion does, it shifts the burden of proof from one party to the other. So rather than Rad's speech was defamation specifically, he has to prove that it's not protected speech specifically. Right. In other words, it's not opinion. It's not fair and true reporting. It's not mistake of fact, stuff like that. So he has to go down the list. Now, because he lost, yes, he had to pay the fees. However, he gets a free appeal.
What?
Radke gets a free appeal.
I didn't know that part.
Yes. So Radke gets a free appeal. So this actually isn't over yet. So I think the video did say something. So somebody here said something about, they may have mentioned the appeal, but yeah, the anti-slap motion comes with a free appeal for the loser. That means, let's say Anthony, if he filed it and the judge at trial denied the motion, he would get the free appeal. So whoever loses the motion gets the free appeal.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, so this actually isn't over. Now, generally, appellate judges don't usually go against what lower judges do because they don't dispute matters of fact. So what it comes down to is the appellate courts, they don't really dispute matters of fact unless you can prove they were unlawfully admitted. Right. And because it's a civil trial, Ronnie is the one who has to admit the facts. He has to set the foundation. So it's laughable to think that he's even going to win the appeal because this whole trial was based on the evidence he brought. Do you think he's
actually going to appeal, though, or just be done?
No, he's petty.
I mean, that is true.
No, he's worse than that guy that called immigration on his girlfriend because he got in a fight. This guy's petty.
That's wild.
He's going to appeal. Because remember, he wants to win. He wants the victory, and according to this video, he didn't actually file the lawsuit for any other reason than to make this video. I don't even know where the hell
that's what he said. That made no sense. He said,
no sense whatsoever. No.
Filed a lawsuit to make this video. No, you didn't, buddy. You are coping so hard. And I got to show these. They are absolutely hilarious.
You're an apple? What does that mean?
I don't know. The person's name's Annoying Orange. It's free speech until it's against me. Good job paying his legal fees. It's genuinely hard to sound this stupid, but somehow Ronnie pulls it off flawlessly.
Omega levels of copium detected.
Exactly. It's so ironic to me, this entire thing, for one.
He's overflowing. His shoes are going to fly off.
Oh, my God.
Genuinely hard to sound this stupid, but somehow Ronnie pulls it off.
And you know what's so weird to me is he talks about this whole thing was about defamation, but literally 90% of his video are like attacking people, defaming them. Like most of what he creates as far as content goes is like, look at this person, they're ugly, they might be fat. Yeah,
it's all insults. It's all just talking down on people.
But the moment it's turned around on him, he's like, nope, I'm going to sue the wrong Anthony Fantano.
Well, and I only think it was the same age. I think Anthony said it was some guy much older, too. It's like they weren't even in the same age range.
That's crazy.
No, but that's how civil suits work, though. If you get served the subpoena, well, you don't really have to respond, but this is one of the reasons you should, just in case they get the wrong guy. Because the case can move forward without the other guy.
Well, wouldn't it be funny to be the other Anthony Fantano sitting there like, who the fuck is this? Like, why am I? Right. It would be the weirdest thing ever. Also, question from you from Hooded. Did you see that the Justice Department is talking about taking guns away from transgender people?
I severely doubt that's good. I know that's what they want to do. I doubt that's going to happen.
Like, that's like being like, well, this black person committed a crime, no more guns for them. Like,
well, transitioning isn't a protected status like skin color. It's not something that the court looks at as what would be called a suspect class, which means
sure?
you would be. What's that?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
like for a 14th
class.
Amendment analysis, transitioning people are not on there.
Okay.
You have things like religion. Sure. Yes. You have things like religion. You have race. Okay. Now, transitioning people are not specifically on there.
Okay. Wait.
Now, that's
weird question. If you can choose your religion and you choose to transition, shouldn't both of them be protected?
Well, remember that religion is specifically written. Now, transitioning is not. Now, what I'm saying though, it's not on the list of protected categories of citizens or classes of citizens. Now, that also doesn't mean that just because they're not on the list, that doesn't mean you can do this.
It doesn't mean you can take away their rights for gun ownership.
Yep.
When that is a protected right.
There's no legal basis for it. Like, they're trying to say because there's some kind of a psychiatric problem at play that they shouldn't qualify for guns. That's going to be a higher question for the highest court to answer. But bottom line, they're not going to going straight for it like that. I think they're just trying to get it to the federal courts to see what they can get away with.
Yeah,
but I think they know it's not that simple. Yeah, this ain't her first rodeo. She knows. She knows it's gonna.
That's ridiculous to even think something like that would pass. Like, even I there are a lot of crazy Republicans out there. I think they would even look at that and go, "Really? Like, we have a right to our guns in America.
Yes,
we love our guns in America."
Generally speaking, if you're out in the free world and you have not committed a crime, you are entitled to all of your fundamental rights. These are fundamental rights that are fundamental constitutional rights are actually for everybody. There's just no reason to believe that just because you transition that you are less entitled to any kind of constitutional protection. Same thing with somebody's calling for the Obergefell case to be overturned. I sincerely doubt they're going to do it for a lot of reasons. But let's get back to that's a separate conversation. But let's get back to this because this is fucking
should have stayed in your diary. I love this.
Andrew Tate of shitty pop metal. That hurts.
Yeah. And I've got
that would kick him right in the junk if it didn't get tucked back into his body after.
You know what though? It might not. I feel like he would be a person that would be like, nah, Andrew, that's a compliment. Like, Andrew Tate's a cool guy. Like,
not a pop metal, but pop metal isn't cool. I didn't even know pop metal.
It's co-worker metal. It's like, hey, did you hear that new Falling in Reverse song? Oh yeah, man, that's cool. Now I've gotten to the point with their new music. It used to be something I looked forward to. Now it is something that I watch. I watch to cringe at to some degree, but I've gotten to the point where I don't.
So bad care. It's good. One of those.
No, it's so bad it's bad to laugh at.
No, I don't know anything about it. I don't listen to him. I just like listening to him bitch because you just can't win.
Because you just cannot win. Nini's got lip injections. That made my day when I saw that. And like I said, the only reason I know is because it's very easy to tell when you've seen somebody like age in front of you, right? Like I had been a fan of them for like 20 years, you know? Mm-hmm. So when your lip grows 3 times the size and you're clearly by all of his videos, by everything he says, a very insecure man, and you're getting lip injections, it just makes my day.
Maybe his lawyer just popped him in the lip. I don't know. For
wasting his time. Oh my God.
It's like watching a 5-year-old explain what they did again, and they did it to get in trouble.
Oh my God. I think he just you know what? It actually, that kind of is right in a way. You know how like kids want attention, whether it's good or bad, right? Whether it's positive or negative, kids want attention. It's kind of how he is. He's still in that 5-year-old mindset.
No, he's just pathetic. Look at this. Remember, kids, if you lose the case, it was all intentional and planned out. If you win, it was all intentional and planned out. Ronnie was just one step ahead.
Oh my God.
He's just one step ahead. So he was just, what was he doing? Was he giving the real Fontano a chance to run when he sued the wrong one? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, and even to a degree, he had offered. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but before the case, when he was in suit of filing, he had offered Anthony Fontano's ex-wife, a job to work for him while he sued Fontano. Because he's such a good guy. Person. He's a good fucking guy.
Fucking horse-faced jackass. No, you're not.
Yeah. So do you actually think he will appeal, or do you think he'll I feel like his ego might not let him not appeal?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's too much of a loser not to take it. And we knew from the beginning, because remember, we talked about this when it was fresh. Mm-hmm. We couldn't get a copy of the complaint because it was in the Los Angeles court's charge. We didn't want to pay for it. We didn't want to pay for that. But we looked at the evidence. Okay, we looked at Tony's video of what was, not him, sorry, but other people covering the news showing what Anthony was being sued for. So, all right, I saw like a weak argument. Okay, I saw the weak argument in the beginning. Right. The way that Anthony had phrased some of that stuff, I could see where there was confusion. But at the same time, there was some confusion. Like, you can draw multiple conclusions from the same statement, and that's the kind of stuff that the courts look for. If you have too many possible conclusions from one statement, even if it's false, they may not move the case forward. So I didn't even think it was strong.
Him just covering previous allegations, right? And you're allowed to cover allegations as long as you say they were in fact allegations. He never once came through and said he obviously, raped this woman or whatever it was.
Well, it was implicit that he did it. I think it was implicit that he was on her side. But now you remember what he said. He said, we was talking about the women. He said their experiences, right? He said their experiences. Like, if you dissect that language a little bit, like, say you can reach a number of conclusions. Did it really happen? Or not? And here was another thing. Radke referred to, he referenced the settlement as proof that this never happened, but settlements don't prove anything. Settlements are private.
In fact, settlements that are that's not something that would be public anyway, right?
Right. He can make it public, but it still doesn't prove it. A settlement doesn't prove. Hell, the guilty party can settle. Okay, it doesn't matter. Settlements, bottom line, they do not prove one way or another innocence or guilt in any way. They are not that kind of a legal proof. Now, look at what just happened yesterday. Currently, Donald Trump's appeal to his defamation suit, is $83 million judgment, I think, is being upheld so far. I think someone will bring it down significantly on appeal, but it's going to stay. Now, what happened, because he was convicted or he was found liable for the conduct previously, and then he said it didn't happen publicly within 48 hours. Okay, so legally, the judgment is proof. Even though, and I agree, the circumstances were kind of weak. It was an old story. It was something like 30 years ago or so. So there's a lot of room to be iffy, but for legal purposes, the judgment is a legal proof.
Wait, what case was this? I'm not necessarily like.
So remember E. Jean Carroll?
Oh yeah, okay.
All right, so within 48 hours after the judgment, he was publicly saying she's lying and it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Now, because there's a judgment saying he's liable, that is now a legal proof. So because he's saying the opposite of what is proven true in court, right. Yes, now he was liable for defamation. So that's why it went that way, and that's because a jury's verdict is a proof. A settlement is not. So that was one of the reasons I thought that Radke's lawsuit was going to fall apart, because a settlement doesn't prove. For legal purposes, it does not prove.
Okay, that makes sense.
See what I mean? So I knew that was going to fail for that reasons. For that reason, and like I said, Anthony's words, I thought that was strong phrasing, but like I said, it wasn't so damning. And more than that, I think what a lot of people don't understand is in the defamation suit, you can prove the other guy wasn't damaged by the statement, even if it's defamation per se.
He proved it himself multiple times when he was like, "This is my bank account. Look at how many millions of dollars I get."
Yeah, exactly. We talked about that too.
Yeah.
There was so what was the damage to his reputation? That's another thing. The damage has to go to his reputation. Now, he's a controversial figure. So how do you prove distinctly
that it was
something
Anthony?
Yes, that it's something Anthony said about you. It may or may not be true, but how do you prove that it was so damaging to you specifically, a controversial figure?
Especially when he's responding to him like on multiple different, before the suit was even going, you know, saying stuff about Anthony. He literally dressed up as him for Halloween. Like, he was obsessed.
Wait, who dresses who? Wait.
Ronnie Radke for Halloween dressed up as Anthony Fantano. No joke.
Wait, did he cut his hair?
No, he wore a bald cap. It's I don't want to say fascinating, but it's ridiculous how obsessed he got with this man.
And because of the sweat, did it just flap off him?
Oh, I'm sure. Immediately, he never stopped sweating, ever.
You think about how salty he is, he'd keep it on. I'm surprised his tattoos are still attached.
So what are the legal conditions with them responding now that, so say it does go forward, right?
Mm-hmm. To the appeal, or
yes. What will Ronnie's video and Anthony's 2 videos responding to it, will that have any impact on the appeal? If
they admit to something damning. So generally,
right.
Yeah. So let's say Anthony somehow, for some dumb reason, admitted, he knew that what he did was wrong, right? Then that can, it could actually put that up. Generally, you can't admit new evidence on appeal. It's supposed to be in the review.
That's what I was
what's
wondering.
At the trial. Right, but then under those circumstances, it's so strictly tied, you've opened the door. So then, yes, you could actually admit that, and then you can send it back to trial.
Okay,
but you'd have to do something.
Sure about that.
Yeah, but you'd have to do something that stupid and that specific, and I don't see it. Anthony's standing by his words. He's not outright saying he's not saying what Ronnie needs. Obviously, Anthony believes her. There's no mystery about
that. No. Yeah, he made that clear even while being protective of what he said. It was obvious that he kind of did believe many of the allegations.
Yeah. So, and that's not a problem. He's free to believe. That's fine if he says he believes them, and that's fine. And that was honestly the implication of everything that he published. Mm-hmm. So I'm not like I said, because it was strongly worded. You could say he said it as a fact, and opinions can be said as fact. That's still not the unlawful part, as long as the statement is proven false, right? And not just that, but it has to be the kind of statement that's damaging to somebody's reputation. Now, because it related to a sex crime, that falls under defamation per se. That's supposed to be a narrow category for statements that are so strong. The court will presume that the plaintiff is damaged just because these statements have been uttered. It's usually for serious felonies, So that would have been one of those things. And I didn't catch that the first time they actually said defamation per se, but the same defenses apply. If he's not actually damaged by the statement, then it doesn't hold.
Because he's the most popular, biggest bank account rock star ever. He'll let you know
with
that
his golden hat.
And his lip injections. Don't forget those. That's just
he owns stock in Cracker Barrel.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right, so let's move on to some more. So what do we got next?
Okay,
I think all the key points to this have really been said.
I want to show this because I do think this is funny, and then I'll have you explain the Candace Owen things. But this, okay. I'm not familiar with the actor. I know of the show Breaking Bad. He got arrested for spraying a child with a garden hose.
Okay, what state is he in?
No idea. It says he was washing his car. He asked the girl to get out of the way, and he sprayed her with water.
Okay. Depending on the state, states define battery and assault differently. Here in California,
Battery and assault, it was a water hose.
Depending on the language of the statutes, that would be battery. So battery is unlawful, unwanted contact, right, with the intent to cause harm. Now,
he got her wet, and she wouldn't move. Like it sounds like almost please tell me I'm not crazy. This sounds like a really stupid situation.
Did he spray her in the eyes?
Oh my God, I don't know.
I hope not, but
he's in California. Robert said.
What happened?
He's in California.
He is in California. So under California, that's battery. I could throw an empty paper cup at you. It's technically a battery.
What?
Yes, by definition, it's a battery.
No.
Yes. Now, in some states, bumping into somebody is technically battery. They'll just never prosecute you for it. But you don't have a right to bump into people. That's what people don't understand. You don't have a right to bump into people.
People have never been to a concert then. My God.
When you go to something like that, you assume a risk.
Right. Yeah, I guess
you were going to be in the crowd, right? And generally similar things in public. If you go to a really crowded place where people are close together, you volunteered, there's the assumption of risk. You should have expected you're going to make some kind of close contact with people, like you're going on a train, an airplane, stuff like that. So you're not going to be able to sue because someone made an unlawful contact with you, even though it is unlawful contact. But again, you assumed a risk. So it does fall on you. So now he's in California. What he did, yes, actually does constitute battery. Now,
okay, so here is what actually happened. So they started filming him, his agent said. When he turned around to tell people to stop filming him, he was hosing his car. And some of the water from his hose hit the front of his car and spilled on their car. And believe it or not, one of them called the police. What?
Was there video of the incident?
Oh yeah, is there video, Robert? Did they ever post? If they were filming him, they might have posted it. But you know what? This is my jaded mind. They knew he was a actor. They knew there was a possibility to get some attention from this, whether good or bad, and they took it.
Yeah, I don't understand the arrest. Now it doesn't. That's the thing. It's not technically unlawful, but it's also just so weak. I would think the cops, because people don't understand.
It was an adult woman.
Oh, it was an adult woman. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was a Karen. Let's be real here. We all know by this situation, just as it was described, even if we don't have a video, it was probably a Karen.
Probably, yeah. But even under California, like I said, technically, yeah, that is illegal. But you said it was all in filming. This is all for a movie. So there's an assumption of risk. So if that was done for the movie, that's an assumption of risk. So I don't understand it either. I'm looking at a local article about it right now.
I mean, that just seems a little over the top to me.
Well, yeah, it is. Like I said, if he shot someone in the eyes, that's a bit different. Because courts understand that's something that can cause an injury.
Oh, they weren't recording for a movie. They were recording him with their phones, but they didn't post it, which is unfortunate. So
that's it.
Yeah, that's literally it. And it was his neighbor. It sounds like to me somebody literally just wanted.
All right. I'd have to see specific details to really figure this out, but something people need to get into their heads. If you are in public, all cameras are legal. It does not matter. If you don't want to be on a private person's camera, like the one on the cell phone, you know what happens a lot of the time when people get in fights because they're on someone's cell phone camera? They go look at the gas station camera, the grocery store camera, other public cameras that are at the traffic lights, and they try to figure out what the hell went wrong. Because sometimes the The cell phone camera doesn't tell the whole story, so they go get more cameras.
Right.
Cameras are dime a dozen. They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
People need to cut it the fuck out. They are
Misdemeanor
everywhere.
battery is what he got.
Yeah, see? That's what I was thinking. See, so he's aggravated because he's on camera, and then he got arrested because see what I mean?
But I can understand the aggravation just because he is a movie star, just because he is somebody that's in the public light. He's still a person. Like, he doesn't want to be filmed while he's at his house spraying his car down.
Understood, but what people don't understand is the First Amendment ultimately means we can document the free world as we see fit.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Everything.
Have you ever seen those people that do that kind of thing and like do it to aggravate? Like, they will go and just go to police stations or voting places and just record.
Yes. Yeah, and they're doing that to get a lawsuit because they know people somewhere, someone is going to get mad. Even the cops. Like you see people who get pulled over and then they pull out their cell phones and they taunt the cops to say, what is your reason? You were supposed to give me a reason. Do you understand Terry versus Ohio, 1964? All that stuff. First off, I understand that case, but you guys, I understand that doesn't do anything for you on the side of the road to taunt the cops about Supreme Court precedent and what they said. Yes, the cops are supposed to give a reason to the court for your arrest or detention. They do not have to say it to you. California law there's a new statute that requires cops to tell you when you're pulled over why you're pulled over. But that's it. That's a statutory. Huh?
Mo said, me and you batter them with coconut shell.
There is not a coconut on earth that you can't break.
Coconuts are disgusting. That's the only reason why.
Yeah,
actually, I like coconut milk, but not like.
They may as well be blunt force weapons, dude. They're disgusting.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. As far as I can tell, that much is figured out. He's arrested. He'll get probation, maybe a fine. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a dumb thing altogether.
It's silly to me. It really is. It makes no sense.
No, I figured they were trying to get him deported. That's what I was looking for.
Oh my God. Why? Because he's brown?
Yeah, all that's going on. Yeah, that's going on. The court's restrictions are lifted, so they're back. They're back out here in the LA area.
To Trump's America.
Anyway, what else we got next? All
right, tell us about this Candace Owens thing, because I don't know. Because I don't follow Candace Owens, I have no idea that she even had a case going on.
Okay. The Brigitte Macron, the first lady of France, and I forget, he's not a king of France. I don't know, some elected dumb fucking France. Anyway.
I think I may have heard about this.
Okay, he was, I think, 13 or 14 when they met. She was 39. Now they didn't.
Wow.
Yeah. This is French law, by the way. Now, according to their story, they didn't enter any kind of relationship until he was 15, which is the legal age. Yes, the French. So, all right. So now here's what's going on. She's actually talking about an old story where Brigitte has actually transitioned, and not only that, she's I think it was something like how it was actually her brother, just assuming a fake identity, like something like that. So Brigitte is actually her own brother. Yeah, it's something like that. It goes batshit. But the big one is she's also Candace is accusing them of incest specifically.
Oh my God! What the fuck is?
There was either that or what was it? Or as there's another word I'm looking for, but not incest. Fuck, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Go away. Get out, CNN.
Right? They're trying to. Okay, so it says, that Brigitte could be a man. Like, where did this? Is this like the rumor? Kind of. They did this with with Obama's wife? Is it kind of on the same lens as that? They are trying to just like
it's called a transvestigation.
A transvestigation. Stop
it. You think I'm joking? I'm not. It's called a transvestigation.
Why are we doing transvestigations? That is why. Why do you care?
If it's funny.
But why does she care if...
I still say Blair White and Ronnie Radke are the same person. You notice they're never in the same room together.
Right, exactly. I could see it.
Or maybe they always are. But
oh my God. What I don't understand is two things, right? I could see the lady being upset, like being called trans. I could see that upsetting someone. But why does Candace care if either way, what gender?
Remember, Candace is so incendiary that even Megyn Kelly has said Candace should be isolated from the rest of the conservative movement.
Oh my God.
So she's that bad. That's why this is going on, because she's that bad. And she also,
Is she also being sued by Steven Crowder?
That's news to me.
Oh my God.
We got to look that up.
Yeah.
The same thing. I don't know anything about that one. This is the only one I know about. So anyway, she's accusing them. I think she actually was pedophilia, basically. But legally, that wouldn't be pedophilia in France.
Right.
Now, yes, bottom line, the Macrons can sue Candace in the States because the damaging statement came from here. That's what the law says. Bottom line, people wondering why is it taking place here? It's not because Biden owns the courts. It's because Candace is in Delaware, and that federal district where Biden picked the judges. That's why it's going there. It has nothing to do with whether or not Biden even specifically picked the judge. Hell, it could be a judge picked by a completely different president.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So there's no conspiracy there. That's law proper. So now let's actually talk about this. What the hell is wrong with what she actually said? Well, first off, I think this whole thing is bogus.
Right. No, so for sure. It's Candace knowing 90% of it's going to be.
So let's start with the obvious. Mm-hmm. How are the Macrons going to say transitioning is damaging to their image specifically? Now, I don't know anything about the French political landscape. I was
just going to ask you if you knew how they leaned.
I really don't. I don't know anything about it. I also,
I'm sorry, Joseph. I didn't mean to laugh. And it's back to... Y'all are crazy, bro. Falling in Reverse is by far one of the best bands out there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
I almost good luck.
You have terrible music taste without telling us you have terrible music taste. They are not metal. They are not country. They are not... I don't
something fell in reverse of Ronnie Grass, and that's how he got the name for the band. Okay, there's nothing else to really say about those guys.
Like at this point, you could pick anybody else.
I feel bad for the band.
You don't have to listen to them.
But I do feel bad for the band because everything's about Ronnie.
Everything. The band is Ronnie.
They all look bad.
Yeah. Like
I feel bad for. But anyway, for Candace specifically,
hilarious. Let me get this from Mo. Joseph broke Candace's heart in college. Well, why'd you sleep with her and then leave her, Joseph?
And made her? What the hell does that mean?
Up here, Mo said Joseph banged Candace back in college. She broke her heart, and that's why she's batshit crazy.
Thanks, you little asshole.
Right?
Thank you for throwing that out there for him.
I mean, she's cute. She's just crazy. There is a line, right? The crazy.
She looks like Skeletor.
Oh my God.
She looks like a Halloween decoration.
We're going to do this. Okay, hold on. I'm going to name you 10 bands right now that are better than Falling in Reverse in the scene. Electric Callboy, Sleep Token, Angel Maker, Despised Icon. Okay, I can keep going. Ice Nine Kills, Escape the Fate. Like, come on. Nobody's making you listen to them. Nobody's making you listen to them. Listen to Spike. At this point, listen to Taylor Swift. Nobody's forcing you to listen to that garbage.
At the top of the list is her favorite disco compilation.
Listen to the Hamilton soundtrack, because I do that. Like, I literally go from bands like Angel Maker to fucking Hamilton. I don't care. What?
I don't care about any of them. So anyway, so where did Candace fuck up? So the strongest statements actually would be the criminal allegations. Because again, now we're back to defamation per se, where she's saying something that's considered by U.S. law just to be fundamentally, it's just inherently shocking to the conscience. You know, it's something
Yes.
that once said would probably change how people see you right away. A similar example, if let's say you publicly accuse someone of having HIV, same thing. You would generally
hold on. I know I keep doing this. I'm sorry. Hold on. Apparently, the reason that's why you're called Asian Joe is because of Candace Owen. Raymond says it's because Joseph's new crush is Gothic. No, that's not a new crush. That's a known crush. And this, you can't be serious. Ronnie is still on top. Like, you cannot actually listen to this music and then go, yeah, you know what? I think I like them better than Motionless in White. No. Wage War? No. Knock Loose? No. They're not even on the same level. Listen to I Prove Anything. Like, look at the amount of love and craft that Eminence puts into their work with bringing the violin and bringing metal. Listen to what Sleep Token does. And you want to listen to Falling in Reverse? You have terrible taste. You basic bitch. Anyways, I apologize.
Right,
I am a music junkie. I'm sorry.
All right, his balls have tucked in. You can leave him alone for a little bit.
Oh my God. It's just actually hilarious. It's just actually. Wage War open for him. They also had Dance Gavin Dance and stuff too. That doesn't mean anything, right? That doesn't mean Ronnie wrote a whole song about Chris Stop it. Stop it. Ronnie thinks he's so fucking cool that Chris Motionless literally copied him. Stop it. Nobody cares about Ronald fucking Radke. So much so, like we said in the beginning, he sued the wrong person. And then when he got the right person, he lost.
And most of the feedback to that video is people chewing him out.
Literally. Like, Chris Motionless has more skill and talent in his pinky than Ronnie has in his whole band, though his drummer is legit. But you cannot be serious. God is a Weapon is terrible. Terrible. And he's trying to do these like gross country shit. He's not metal. He's coworker rock. He is trying to be so mainstream. So mainstream.
I thought he was the biggest band in the world.
He thinks he's the biggest band in the world. When you've got people on the charts like the Great Unknown from Ice Nine Kills still fucking outselling and outdoing somebody like God is a Weapon. You are
biggest shithead in the world. A little sued the wrong Anthony Fontano.
Like, you are not going to out music me. Werewolf is a great song. It's so much better than he had to make 2 remakes of old songs.
Y'all are nerds.
No, I love my metal. He had to make two remakes of old songs and then claim he's the only person that ever thought of a werewolf idea. Ronald Radke is the only person that ever thought of a werewolf idea. Stop it. You are pathetic. Listen to real music. The Offering. Go listen to The Offering by Spy. It's so good. And it's new. And you'll love it. And it's real music. Go. Ollie Skies is better than Chris Motionless. They're both great. One doesn't have to be better than the other. They're both great. What are you talking about? You have no idea who I'm talking about, do you?
I don't have any idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Nah, I'm going on a music rant because people that actually defend Ronnie Radke are so sad.
You haven't even been showing the comments most of the time. As far as I know, you're not even talking to somebody who's...
Yeah, no, I'm just randomly yelling at people. There's nobody really in the comments. I'm just like talking.
As long as you're yelling at somebody, in my mind, you're just yelling at somebody you think you see.
It's actually funny.
This is what happens when you eat yesterday's edibles for breakfast.
Oh shit, you got a point there. You do have a point there.
All right.
Okay, I apologize. Back to Chris Motionless. Your music tastes are null and void if you really like. Okay, Situations when he was in Escape the Fate. There's a couple decent songs. Prequel's not bad. There's a couple things that he's done that are decent, right? I used to be a big fan. He's lost his fucking mind, and his music now has a wrestler chick in it. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. The chat is really the voices in my head. Oh my God, yes, I love it.
No, you know there is no chat, right?
Oh yeah, there's no chat. It's just we're not even live, guys. I'm actually talking to myself. I'm just yelling at a random person that thinks they know more about music and has better taste in music when it's terrible. Dog shit.
Also, you're the only one that sees me.
Yes, exactly. You're actually just a voice in my head. The voices in my head keep driving me insane. Ronnie all day. You're pathetic.
All right, let's get back to a completely different fuck up. Let's go back.
Yes,
I'm just
exactly. I'm sorry.
Her lips and her nose look exactly the same here. It's weird.
She's a pretty girl. She's a very pretty girl, but she's just
pulled the fuck out of me.
She's batshit crazy. This other person, like, doesn't. This is the person they're talking about, the French president's wife.
The uglier one, yeah.
She's not even ugly though. Like, she looks all woman. I don't. Where did these rumors come from? Did they come from Candace?
No, this is actually an old story. I think it's something that's actually been going on for 10 years in France.
Oh, okay. So this isn't something she necessarily made up.
That much isn't, at least not the whole part where she assumed her brother's identity. None of that is new. That's not unique to Candace. It's also so stupid. There's no way that could constitute defamation. Now, the criminal accusations, that is a problem. That's why this would have gotten started. This might move to discovery.
Okay, so what I also saw about this, and it was a while back, that she had mentioned on her podcast that Trump actually called her and told her to knock it off.
Even Trump told her to stop this?
Even Trump told her to stop it.
That's interesting. If it's true, okay. Well,
if it's true, right? It's coming from her mouth, so who knows? But I did see it covered on Philip DeFranco that she did mention that Trump said, stop it. Like,
well, then let's talk about something else, because the Macrons, they sent a bunch of photos of Brigitte. Now they're in black and white, but it turns out
that's they of her vagina to prove she's a woman?
Imagine.
Like, here, you want to see I'm a girl? Click.
As far as I can tell, the only thing that's really going to be the only thing that's really going to do it is a blood test. But I think for legal purposes, the photos are fine.
Why should she have to prove that? That's what I want to know. Because
she's the one who sued.
Okay, so it is on her to have the burden of proof.
Yeah. So when the way it works in civil cases, the plaintiff has a burden to provide, the initial evidence to get things started, and then the defendant has the burden to defend, to rebut. So you have to produce the rebuttal evidence. So Candace doesn't have to respond to anything that Bridget didn't actually provide for. It's so she's gonna say, or excuse me, Candace already said she doesn't believe the photos, which doesn't matter.
Right. It's not up to her to believe. It's up to the court, correct?
It's up to it. What happens is that the statements are provably false. It's not about whether or not they are persuasive. That was a big issue that people didn't understand when Alex Jones went to civil court. It's not about whether or not Alex was persuaded. Of course, if you stretch the imagination, you don't have to believe a fucking thing. You don't have to believe anything in front of you is real. It's not about whether or not it's persuasive. It's about whether or not it's provable. And unfortunately, in the case of Alex Jones, it was easy to prove because there were funerals. So the funerals easily proved he was wrong. It doesn't matter if he's persuaded by the funerals. I don't know how dumb you have to be if you cannot be persuaded by funerals. Something is especially fucking wrong with you.
Yeah. Do you know anything about this? Michael said, didn't Bridget slap Macron on the presidential plane?
I hope so.
Oh my God.
I don't know anything about that, but that, the lawsuit is all about, it's another defamation suit because that's just what everybody does. Everybody's trying to construe everything into defamation these days. No, good. I guess this is just the way of the world right now. What's that?
So what? I thought you said in the email you thought this suit was weak, or am I incorrect on that one?
Yeah, I do think Candace can still walk away from it. However, she is, because she's a rambling idiot.
Right.
She could. I believe that because she said so much about this, she may say something. She may say something so stupid in the past, and then there can be an argument that she recklessly disregarded the truth. So under these rules, yeah, there are two ways. So you to get that liability, you have either that the statement was false, so you knew the statement was false and published it knowing it was going to have these damaging effects, or you have reckless disregard for the truth, which means you had a good opportunity to reconsider the truth, and then you published it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So now in her research, and apparently Candace has, I think per her words, she said she did a lot of research. And I think
how do you do a lot of research on a situation like this, though?
On something, well, she was probably
Google searching.
Yeah,
looking on Reddit.
Yeah, but there are
4chan.
Message boards. Again, remember, this is an old story. There could be message boards about this. You have in the further depths of Reddit, you probably still have stuff like that. So in the
Never
further depths,
stick your dick in crazy, boys.
And then you have 4chan, right? And I know,
right.
That's how you get rabies.
But is something like that real? Like, okay, is something like that, or like Crystal said, like a kiwi farm? Is that considered like deep research?
I don't know anything about kiwi farm.
It's like 4chan, I think, to my understanding.
Okay, same thing. Yeah, that counts as research. That can count as reckless disregard for the truth if you're using resources that are known to be unreliable.
Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking. 4chan.
Right, so that's a point against her. So remember, generally for defamation, there are two types of defamation. Remember, now for defamation per se, there are 4 elements instead of 5. So remember, for this one, if it's a crime like this, like honestly, it's a serious felony, like pedophilia.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
She wouldn't have to, or Brigitte would not have to prove special damages for that. She would have to just prove that Candace made a false statement about Brigitte specifically, and is published. Right now, Candace doesn't shut the fuck up about anything she has to say, like any homeless bag lady. Right. So everything she says is out there on the internet for everybody to see about the whole thing. So it looks like Brigitte got it started, but Candace can still prove she's not actually damaged by the statements. And part of that is, this is an old story. Now, as far as the pedophilia thing, that's the part I've seen.
It would go on their laws, though, correct?
Based on their laws, right? Based on U.S. law, it would still be. Oh, sorry. So based on French law, it was not technically pedophilia. Based on U.S. law, it is. Now, I don't know how the courts. I think that would be a good argument for a mistake of fact. So even though it was stated as fact, but there are other possible. You have these other possible conclusions, and she was mistaken. So I think she could actually argue that in court, unless there's some kind of proof that she just outright didn't care. And now she did a 6-hour, if I heard correctly, there's a 6-hour video on Candace's YouTube channel that's just this subject. It's just Candace going way off the deep end.
6 hours?
That's why it made 5 or 6 hours.
Oh my goodness.
It ain't 15 minutes. Like, she went way in there. I actually watched a more recent video. It was a little under an hour about the same thing. And that's how I found out how batshit this lady really is. I love it. I don't want this woman to be silenced there. Like, her and Kanye are about in the same regard in my mind. I don't want them silenced at all.
You're like, I want to hear all the crazy stuff they have to say.
Oh, yeah.
So what I don't understand is everything that she's putting out there in a video that's 6 hours can be used against her.
Oh, yeah. I bet your ass they went through every last line in that video and looked for something, anything. They're going to look for any inconsistency in the public statements and try to prove Candace probably had a chance to reconsider the truth and that she still didn't do it. So they're going to argue that it was a reckless disregard. Now, there's also there's several cease and desist letters. Now, this is a tricky thing because cease and desist letters aren't binding. It's not as simple as getting a letter and then you have to stop. Now, it is in your interest to consider them because the letter might actually have the truth. So now I think the photos of Brigitte as a girl, even though they're in black and white, they are
like a child. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, different ages.
Okay.
Yeah, different younger ages to show this is Brigitte, right? And I believe Brigitte actually does have kids that are all her own. So
wait, what? That proves it right there. What?
Well, remember the whole thing is that it's a fake identity. Remember that. So I don't know how they explain the kids. I'm actually waiting to see that myself. Now that I think about it, I have no idea how they're explaining the kids. Like if it's a would they're going to say it's a surrogate family or something like that. I don't know. Actually, I haven't looked into that part. That would be funny as fuck to see how they try to explain the kids. But like I said, simple DNA test would prove that element for Brigitte, that she's female. Okay. Now I'm still. I also just realized the lighting behind Candace. Is she gay?
The bisexual lighting.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Anyway, for that much for the whole transitioning thing, again, I still don't understand how that's damaging to Brigitte specifically. It's false, but she's got to explain why that's damaging.
Okay, from a female perspective, I could see how it's insulting.
It's insulting, right?
It's extremely insulting, but at the same time, I could see how it could be damaging. It could be damaging. He's the president. He's the French president. It could damage their campaign. I don't know how politics necessarily work over there, how similar it is to what we do, because I'm a dumb American and, don't know that kind of stuff. But I could see how it could be damaging in that regard.
When it comes to a damaging statement, it has to be something that actually hurts your reputation. It's got to be something.
You don't think that would hurt your reputation to some degree? I mean, most people know she's insane, but there's got to be people that think she's telling the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or she
would. Oh, yeah, there are definitely people here in America that think she's telling the truth for sure.
Right.
I don't know how that affects her in France. Now, is she even? And that's another thing. Is Candace even allowed to speak in France? Because a lot of, I know Fox News isn't allowed in Canada, or at least wasn't for a while. I don't know if that's still the law.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, there was something about that a long time ago. I don't know if that's still the case. Yeah, Fox News, at least for some time, was not allowed in Canada.
I mean, that's hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, so I don't understand. That's the thing. I don't understand here's also another thing. Another good reason to believe this is partially a publicity stunt. The Macrons filed a motion to file extended complaints. So
what does that mean exactly?
Rather than there's a character limit on your initial complaint. So they filed a motion to have extended complaints.
Okay.
Yeah, and they went.
Wait, there's actually a character limit?
Yeah, they went. Yeah, it's up to like 12,000, something like that. I probably was 1,200 words or 12,000 characters. I forgot. It's something huge.
That is wow.
Yeah, And they actually are going, they're going in depth with like their entire career. Like this goofy fucker is president of France, has been forever. Like what none of that has anything to do with the actual evidence. Okay, you're supposed to be providing evidence of some kind of harm, and you're supposed to be providing evidence of the falsehoods. You got to make sure the statements are specifically tied to Candace. Okay, that's the kind of stuff you got to do in this kind of civil complaint. And they're not. It's not like they haven't done anything. They did produce some evidence, but they're also taking the time to make it a publicity thing. So it's partially a publicity stunt. It's true. It is partially a publicity stunt. Right. But I also, like I said, I think it's so weak. She could walk away from it. Again, she just has to prove she's not actually that they're not actually harmed by the statement. Now, for starters, they're public figures. So because they're public figures, they're open to criticism back and forward anyway. And then that's that's
calling somebody a man criticism though. Is that considered?
Strikes me more insulting than anything, but it's still constitutionally protected.
Okay,
and
that's what I wondered.
That's another thing, just in case people are wondering. French law isn't necessarily an element here. The First Amendment is the priority here. So what if Candace's speech is protected by the First Amendment? That is her defense. So it doesn't matter if it wouldn't. Out in the UK, I came across this more recently. Truth isn't even the defense to defamation. So even if you say the truth, and somehow you can defame somebody by telling the truth, somewhere in truth is not a defense to defamation in some places in the UK.
That's absolutely
that's insane, right? It makes you appreciate U.S. law a bit more, doesn't it?
I mean, always have, but that is, if you say something that's true, but it's defaming somebody, oh my God.
Yeah, if your life sucks, it's your fault if it's true. Bottom line, hummo. Anyway, the statements have to actually injure. And here's the thing though, because these are public figures, to actually say something that injures a public and an elected official, let's all what that probably makes sense.
Actually, that does make more sense now that you mentioned. I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know where exactly. I don't know where exactly that is. I think like somewhere like Scotland, Ireland. I know that's the case.
Right.
But yeah, let's just imagine that truth is not a defense in court over in other countries. That's just so weird to me, though.
That's truth. Literally foreign to me, because truth and fact should be the basis for anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so anyway, for these people, I just don't see how they're going to prove that they were specifically damaged by the statements. They might be offended. They were insulted, obviously, and now this is an old story for at least 10 years. There was a number I got that this is a story at least 10 years old.
Okay.
So it's a story at least 10 years old, and this guy still got the presidency. So how damaging could it really be?
I see what you mean there. Okay, that does make sense if it's nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just hypothetical here. If Candace loses, what happens then?
Well, she's got to pay up, but then collecting for civil suits is actually really hard. Like Alex Jones hasn't paid anyone anything.
Right.
He was supposed to liquidate his assets and start paying off. He hasn't paid the fucking thing. There was a similar issue when OJ was sued, but he was sued out of California. But what happened after he lost the civil trial, all he did was move out of California to Florida, and now you can't collect.
You can't even do like garnishing their wages. I guess it's kind of different.
Yeah, there are motions for that. So you just got to press the issue over and over. So it's not that it's impossible to collect. It just
takes time.
It can take a lot of time.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
And there's something that the courts look at to whether this was intentional harm or unintentional. I forget exactly how it works, but there are the bankruptcy protections. You can be disqualified from bankruptcy protections if the court finds you did this, willfully and maliciously. Yeah, that's why also what happened to Alex Jones. That's why he couldn't file for bankruptcy, because the evidence against him was so overwhelming. He didn't qualify for bankruptcy protections. The evidence against him was so bad. The judge said, "Hurry up and pay, you dumb motherfucker."
Yeah, and then they were like, "We're also going to make an example out of you at the same time."
Oh yeah, yeah. He's shit out of luck. He has no career anymore.
Wasn't he selling InfoWars at one point? And I know that something like the Onion or
yeah, the Onion tried. I forgot exactly what happened there. I know the Onion did try to buy InfoWars.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the best, wouldn't it?
That would have been hilarious, honestly.
Oh, fun. But yeah, for some reason, I forgot what happened. I think there was something about the way the sale was conducted. A judge actually stepped in and said it wasn't lawful.
Yeah, I do remember hearing that, but that's crazy.
But yeah, for Candace here, so like I said, I really think she's going to walk away from this, all said and done, unless she really said something stupid. And then it's a 6-hour video. That's a long time. You know, honestly, when in a defamation suit, you only really need one prior inconsistent statement to screw it up. You and I were also following Smash JT's suit. Yeah, we're also following that one. That one's going to discovery soon, or at least that's the motion. The judge could still deny the motion. The judge could look at the motion to dismiss and finally decide this needs to stop. Now, even if it goes to discovery, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to lose, but just in case people wonder why, even if you're a defendant, why not just go up there, tell the truth? Smash's bills, it went from I think it was $35,000 at first to $200,000.
What?
Yeah. So he's up to $200,000 in debt right now. And remember, he was being sued for $75,000. So people are wondering,
my God.
Yes, and now here's also another thing: whether or not JT believes he was even wrong by he was in the wrong at all. Sorry, it would have been in his interest to settle at some point. Just sometimes people do that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people settle not because they did anything wrong,
because they want to end it.
They can't afford to move forward in a civil suit. So now people have a better understanding why also private settlements are not proof.
$100,000?
Yes. Now
imagine he went so long just covering like Amico and smaller stories about video games back when he was normally sane. Hit it some ad revenue with the Alyssa Mercante stuff. He couldn't let it die so much and went after this girl so much that he is now in debt and trying to drop it.
More money than he's ever had in his life. He now owes more money than he's ever made his whole life to one lawyer, just so he could trying to stay out of court. Trying not to pay a judgment of $75,000 because there's another. They could also amend later. They could still amend actually about right now. They could amend now and sue for more. That's another reason people just try to just stay out of it. But again, we still don't know. We still don't know because discovery. I don't know when it's due, but they haven't moved to discovery yet. If they do, that could mean depositions. So that could mean I don't know. I don't know who would be involved. By the way,
right.
But honestly, what I think really happened with this case is that Mercante she was terminated. Initially, she said they parted on good terms from Kotaku. Then she said she was fired. So that's actually a problem for her either way. But what I'm gathering is that she was actually, when she was fired, she believes it was for the wrong reasons. She couldn't get a wrongful termination suit because it's harder since she was contracted. So because she wasn't an hourly worker, the law protects her.
Was it just one of those situations where it was like her contract wasn't renewed necessarily?
Yeah. Now she thinks it's for an unlawful reason.
Right.
That's speculation on my part. What I think's happened, that she tried to get a wrongful termination suit and she couldn't. It would be harder for her to get that suit because she was salaried. She wasn't an hourly worker.
Right.
So because of that, the employer has more discretion over the terms of that worker, over Mercante. So it would be harder to get that lawsuit. So I think this is actually a way to get someone from Kotaku on the stand and explain why she was fired. So I think she's actually going after Smash just to get to somebody at Kotaku.
Holy crap.
I know. I don't. Again, I don't know. That seems to me to be the case because this is a weak lawsuit. Now, you even remember at Amber Heard's case, was Walter Amada.
Yes.
Right. So because he is necessarily part of this story, right? Because he was somehow in the determining fact. Sorry, hold on, my
oh, you're fine.
Something's going around. Anyway, so he was in the room, I believe, right, when Johnny was fired.
Right.
Or he was accused. Okay. So he's relevant in that whole story, even though it's not a wrongful termination suit specifically, but the termination is part of the defamation story. So it's because it's all tied together, that does open the door for, in that case, Walter Amada to go to the stand. So similar would happen here because her termination is a factor in the story. So if this does move to discovery, there could be depositions. I would guess they would come from Kotaku. So somebody over there, because they want to know, why was she fired? And they want that to be an element in the story and see if that makes sense. Again, I don't know. We won't know until that actually moves to discovery. But that's honestly been my gathering about this when I found out she basically changed her story. She's amended, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Right.
So, and that's a bad look on her, depending on the amendment, because all the amended stories are admissible in favor of JT.
Right, exactly.
He can go over each and every one, and he can say, this is where your story changed the first time, this is the second change, and the third change, and they don't all make sense together. And prior inconsistent statements are really strong. You guys probably saw recently that Cardi B got sued.
Oh, yeah. I did see the video you sent me. I felt like I was watching like crack personified.
Oh no! Oh yeah, that woman's an absolute shithead. I loved every minute of her.
It was like,
no, you didn't see though. Like she was asked, "Are you the firstborn child?" And then she said with it this dumb bitch smile on her face, "To my mom."
Oh, she's like,
she did that twice.
I don't understand her.
Like an hour apart. To my mom.
I don't have anything against Cardi B, but like it's so weird.
No, I do. She actually is an impulsive wreck. Like she slapped cops before. It wasn't ridiculously hard, but anybody else would have been locked up. For some reason, she wasn't.
I mean, she's Cardi B. Come on now.
No, look at this.
That's the only reason why.
Okay, the whole thing with that one, that was supposed to be a battery case too. Okay, the whole thing with that is that Cardi unlawfully put her hands on somebody. She said she didn't, right? And now there's video you can see, like just before the jury made a verdict, she went outside to her car. Somebody asked her a question. She threw a pen at the guy, which is also battery in California.
That's crazy to me. Water and throwing a pen is battery.
Yes. Now there are different degrees, just it's like everything. Point is, you don't have a right to throw objects at people. You don't have a right to shoot people with a water hose. You don't have a right to freely use force generally anywhere in the United States. You just don't have a right to freely use force. So now think about this. She was at trial for battery, said she didn't do it, and then she committed battery on the steps of the court. The steps of the courthouse. You see that? Okay, now the jury apparently didn't get wind of that, but it would have been admissible. The jury would have been free to consider that. Now, Cardi won. Cardi survived. She's not paying that woman a cent.
Right.
But one of the key reason I believe she won it is because the plaintiff, who was a security guard, so they both admitted they made contact with her, like chest to chest. Okay, but the plaintiff says Cardi used her hands. Cardi said she never used her hands. The only thing the security guard reported was a scratch on her face for some reason. a tiny scratch on her nose. Okay, but then you look at the photo she presented, it's this long ass scratch on her face. It actually did look really bad.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, that also happened after this security guard was in a car accident. So
okay.
Yeah. Yes, Cardi is. I heard she got all her injections removed, but she looked funny on the stand. Like she's
also the one that twerked with She-Hulk, right?
No, that was Megan.
Okay, yeah.
No, Cardi, you got to see the video, Ray, when she gets called to the stand, because she's walking past all these people and they have to move just because her ass is so big. Like it's growing outward, it's growing to the side, it's growing like moose antlers. It looks disgusting. It looks retarded now. But you gotta, anyway, what happened there, too many inconsistent statements. That's what I'm getting at. The security guard had too many inconsistent statements. If she had opened up with that photo of the big scratch on her face,
right,
that probably could have won it. But that photo was taken years down the road. And she also said she had photos of the scratch, and then she deleted them. She didn't think she was going to sue. Right. Okay, and then I don't even know where that one supposedly came from. Then I found one. Turns out there's one I didn't delete. So you see how all these
inconsistencies
don't really go together.
Yeah,
they're forced together. So that's the kind of stuff that could benefit Smash if this goes to trial. But again, personally, I still think that one should be dismissed because it's the same thing. The jurisdiction issue is a problem. It shouldn't be taking place in New York. It should be in California. And if it's too weak for California, I don't know what to say other than she lost. I understand where she's coming from because they did go after her pretty hard.
I mean, crazy hard.
And that's
like,
and that's the kind of thing.
It's harassment to that degree.
Well, that's the thing. She didn't sue for harassment. She sued for defamation. Or maybe I think some kind of online harassment is in there too. Actually, I don't remember. But as far as defamation, those aren't the same thing.
Okay.
Harassment and defamation aren't the same thing. Like they're going back and forward at each other, right? They're all talking shit to each other. So yeah. So in that regard, they're actually neither one of them can actually argue harassment. It's because
it's a back and forth bickering.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously it's verbal.
I wonder if she had kept her mouth shut, I'm assuming her case would be a lot stronger.
The whole thing is the statements in question, right? So she was asked how she got the job, and then she said she sucked dick for the job. Yeah, I know there are laughing emojis
joke.
There. But now you think Smash is lying, but now do you think a neutral third, let's say some neutral third in Missouri, seeing that for the first time, has no idea who Mercante is, right? But sees that for the first time, would you expect the same conclusion you have right now?
Yeah, people joke.
Well, the whole thing is the text does lead multiple conclusions, and that's a big thing.
I get that,
and that's the issue for her. That's a fundamental issue. So she can't really prove. She can't prove she didn't suck a dick. She can go ahead and say she was joking. She can try, but and it doesn't. It's not really the best evidence now. Because Smash doesn't shut the hell up either. He could have said something by now that's conflicting. He could have said something else like
he thought she was joking or something along those lines.
Well, let's say there are actually private messages between him and somebody else where you can just use that to imply that he wasn't joking,
right?
That he knew, right? If that comes in, then yeah, he's effectively lost.
Okay.
Unless the damage done to her, when she says it's related to her termination. So unless that damage done to her isn't actually related to his false statement, then he would lose that right away. And I think that's what people are waiting on. Huh?
What if she can prove that it was directly related to that? Like if she has a way of proving through maybe correspondence with her work or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. She has to make that connection. So she said he's the one who defamed. So she has to prove everything he did and said publicly is what resulted in that termination, that it somehow led to that.
Okay.
Now, I understand that there's a chat room, right? There's a chat room. All this other stuff is going on, and a lot of people are commenting on the same thing.
Right.
I haven't seen what's in there, so I don't know what's going on, but I know that's part of the charge.
But it says he has to see the video of Cardi B's ass going to the stand.
You go to what is it? Not
was it Law and Crime?
Not Law and Crime. There's another similar one. It's all trials. Let me look up the channel while I keep talking. But anyway, so she has to make that connection. That's part of the charge. She has to be the one to make. Oh yeah, Law and Crime Trials. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find all the testimony. Anyway, she has to make that connection in that chat room. Apparently, she's alleging that JT organized through that chat room.
Through that Discord, right?
Yeah, I think it was a Discord server, right? And part of her argument is, I believe it's a private server. So because it's a private server, it's monetized. He's getting money at the same time,
right?
And all this is going. So that's her trying to make that connection. So yeah, if she can pull that off, yeah, absolutely. JT's shit out of luck. It's bad enough he looks like Chuck E. Cheese's mugshot.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah. Did you see that though when Chuck E. Cheese got arrested?
No, I didn't know that was a real thing.
Yeah, that's really what happened. Dude in the Chuck E. Cheese suit got arrested.
Oh my
he God. He asked to keep the helmet on. He asked to keep the mask on in front of the kids. And then they sat him down in the car like that, I think, and then took it off. But yeah, he was using somebody's credit card illegally.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, the cops showed up while he was at work.
Okay. All right. I do want to talk about I'll give you the choice. So do you want to go to Silk Song or you want to talk about the baseball Karen first?
Yeah, let's talk about the Karen first.
Baseball Karen, everybody's favorite. Sort of. I just gotta find it. I have it up. Have you seen this yet?
I have not. I have no idea what this is. But you give me a moment. I gotta step away from the computer for a moment. But that looks bad right off the bat.
Yeah, it's bad right off the bat. Go ahead.
That looks like a. Hold on, that looks bad right off the bat. Give me a moment. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
You are totally fine. Let me see what you guys. I love how the whole comment section is just making fun of Joseph's fetishes and his pillows, like the whole thing. That guy was Chuck E. Cheese. I have no idea what he's talking about with that one. I didn't see that one. Robert said the fact that baseball Karen has led to more memes than tennis hat stealing a-hole did. Wait, I don't know what tennis hat stealing a-hole is. But the baseball Karen thing is like, what I find so funny about it is it did like unite the internet in hate, right? Everybody hates this woman. It was absolutely ridiculous. But the right is already co-opting it, calling it this woke white woman and she was this liberal, blah, 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 blah. To my understanding, she's already lost her job. And I mean, I'm not saying she deserved it, but she should have known better. She bullied a child. The woman got mad. She didn't get the file. Yes, that's literally all it was. And this was to my understanding, a child on their birthday. So the hat thing. The guy who stole the hat given to the kid during the U.S. Open, and he later doubled down and saying, you see an opportunity, you take it. If you keep speaking bad about me, I'll see you because I'm the CEO. Wow. That's pretty crappy. I understand you see an opportunity, you take it. I understand that, but with a child, that's a whole nother ball game that you don't want to fuck with. The internet is going to hate you and roast you forever. Mo said, the internet, or wait, where did it go? Wait, why is it? There it is. No, it's not. It's showing up on my phone and not on here.
What you missing?
So you haven't seen this yet?
No, I have not seen this. It looks like something I want to see. Looks like it looks like the kid's in danger.
So apparently you have a Rush Limbaugh pillow and a Cardi B pillow.
Why Limbaugh? Hey, what?
I can see
Where
it.
did he come from?
My grandpa used to watch Rush Limbaugh all the freaking time. He was like obsessed. It's so weird. Okay, so this has kind of gone around. Like, not kind of gone around. It's gone crazy. Like, uniting the internet with hate. It's only like, oh, whoops. No audio. It's short. Scared the shit out of them.
Cameras, guys, was a kid his home run ball being taken away from him. So the Marlins wanted to make sure that he had a little prize pack and some baseballs to make up for the incident that we caught a little bit earlier on our games.
So this lady, now I could be wrong, but this lady stole the baseball from the little boy. The dad went and got it for him. Obviously, to my understanding, it was his birthday, right? Like, this lady is now being used by people like Trump and other Republicans to say about woke white women. She's lost her job all because of a baseball. It's fucking crazy.
I like how the boy and the old lady basically look the same.
Except for one's way more adorable. Let's be real here. The little boy is way more adorable. But on the bright side, you seen at the end there, the baseball team brought him a whole bunch of stuff, and he got to meet like the baseball team and stuff. Like, they treated the kid really well because of this woman. But she's pretty much united the internet in like hate, if that's possible. Hate for a woman that stole a ball from like a 10-year-old kid.
So what she did? She just yanked it out of the glove?
No, you can see here, the dad gets it, right? Mm-hmm. Right here. The dad picks it up. Yeah, it's a home run ball. He's excited to give it to his kid right on his birthday. And
I like how his dad pointed out, he did it.
She's like, I got it first, which wasn't true. And he gets sick of arguing with her eventually and just says, go.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
and just says,
go. Scumbag. Dude, baseball fans are fucking stupid. I've never seen that before. I've never seen it. Most of the time, if a kid gets the ball, people just leave it alone. I've never seen that before. I haven't watched a hell of a lot of the games in my life, but I've seen, I've seen that most. Anytime the ball goes out the crowd, the kid gets the ball, he doesn't have it. Hell, some people even catch the ball and hand it to the kid next to them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's like, for baseball fans, that's a big fucking deal. But she was so mad that he got it first. She stole a ball from a child.
Well, she didn't steal it. Dad gave it up after saying he's the one who stole it.
Yeah, you know what? That dad was had the spine of a wet noodle. But I can't say I would have done the same. I'd have been like, fuck you, get out of my face.
Yeah. I was with a kid, I would say, get your own balls, bitch. Same thing mom tells you every day.
She does. Who is that lady? Who said, I wonder if she's 16. Who does she look like? Oh, that.
The Democrat.
Yes. That always claims she's Indian.
Pocahontas. Just call her Pocahontas.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she does look like her. And I've seen so many memes about this lady. It's absolutely hilarious. But what I'm glad about is they treated that kid right. Like, after everything, they treated that kid right.
And they made this a political thing? What, like?
Yeah, yes, Trump made it political. She's a Democrat. She's a woke white woman. Like,
oh, like they said, the Democrats have turned our white children into against our white women. I thought it was going to be something like that. It's dumb either way. First off, she's dumb as shit. I wish somebody would have just kicked her down every seat.
I wish that dad would have told her to fuck off.
I would have kicked her.
Yeah.
It's happy birthday, little buddy. You have to watch an old lady fall all the way down bleachers.
I mean, I get he didn't want to cause a scene. I do understand where he was coming from. Like, they're in a big public place. She's making a spectacle. But at some point, like, that's your child. Stand up for your child.
I don't know. I don't know what she said. That's another thing. I don't know what she said. Like, did she say she was going to call security and say you stole it? Because I think
that is true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I don't know the rules, but I don't know how they are about stuff like that. Because I know people get mad if you catch a ball that was going straight to somebody else. Sometimes people get mad. I don't know if there's a rule against stealing.
I guess there was another angle that showed she was nowhere near it. Even in this angle, it looked like it was pretty far away from her. Like,
yeah, it didn't look like he snatched it out of her hand.
Exactly. Like, mine, bitch.
And also another thing, I think I missed it. Wasn't she a level above? So he went straight to his right, and wasn't she one level back? So didn't she actually the seats behind? No, that's
right there.
Yeah,
she's up a level. Yep, you're absolutely right. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and it's normal for people to.
And it's not on her level at all. It was what the fuck?
Yeah, see, that's bullshit. She's just being
so
dumb.
Bullshit.
No, I bet you
white women, they're the problem.
I know. When will you learn?
Right, exactly.
I bet you it was something like that. I bet you she threatened to call security, something like that. Say you stole it. And he said, "All right, you win." And I think that sucks. The little buddy has to watch that. But you know what? The team made it right. The team went out in support of little buddy's birthday. And what the hell is this?
Cute. I don't know. This one I didn't see. Oh wait, hold on. Let me unmute it. This one happened too, but this wasn't a Karen. It was I don't know. We'll call him a Chad. A Kevin. Are you kidding me? He handed it straight to that little kid.
What a chump.
That's terrible.
Hip toss that goofy fucker right into
the That's so mean.
What was that? Yeah, that's a low. Hey, that's a felony. If that hat's really worth over $1,000, that's a felony.
Robert said, worse, that guy is a rich millionaire CEO. Oh my God. And he stole a hat from a little kid. Literally handed it right to him. Wow.
That's low. Straight in his hand. Like, not even a full second after it enters the kid's hand.
That is insane. People are terrible.
No, baseball fans, for sports fans generally are dumb. They're really bad. Like remember, I'm down by the LA area. I have a friend that went up to Frisco, about 5-6 hours drive north here. So it was just to watch the Dodgers play the Giants. Just so all LA, basically LA versus Frisco, right? Yeah, it's competitive, but dude, they were throwing stuff at him. Like he had like hot dogs and the drinks being thrown at him. And he didn't. Like, all he did was show up. Yeah, my friend shows up at the game, and people were throwing food and cups at him. All he did was show up with his Dodgers hat.
Oh my God! There was, I think it was Reese a while back said that there was rioting after, like, it's a normal thing for baseball or sports fans to riot after a win.
No, I wouldn't say normal, but there have been some bad ones. I think it was late 90s or early 2000s after the LA Lakers won the game. It just slowly escalated into riots to the point where they had to get cops and tanks to settle it down.
Oh my God. All because your team, it's not even that they lost, they won.
Yeah, it's because they won. No, you'd be amazed what people go through and do just because a team won. Like, hell, I think the worst one was what was it? After the World Cup. Actually, I think this is funny because the World Cup, it was in 2020 in Russia. So it was Mexico and I think I forgot who the other, I think it was Russia. I don't
Right.
know. But yeah, Mexico wins the World Cup in Russia. Actually, this is funny. The Mexicans they drank so much of the alcohol that they ran out for days or weeks.
What?
Like the local towns were just completely out. They drank so much.
Okay.
That's fucking funny. Well, yeah, it's funny what people do. That whole thing with the Lakers riot back then. Within minutes, people were jumping on top of cars that weren't theirs, flipping them over, and that's because of a win. Yeah, sports fans they take it far. They take it, to a dumb as fuck degree.
Okay, so you have a win, you're all excited, you leave. Would you not want to go, like, if you want to go party and not have the night end, I understand that. So go to a nightclub, get drunk, find someone to have sex with, whatever. These things I can understand. What I don't understand is rioting and ruining other people's property.
LA is not the same place. It hasn't been for
that's fair.
Time.
That is a fair point.
Yeah, it's always been a mess. Like what you're seeing in the news. First off, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, it sucks. But this is a lot of it's stuff that's always been going on. It just didn't really make the news until recently. But yeah, this place has always been fucked. Like I've seen Skid Row up front. It's like a science fiction movie. It's that bad.
Seriously?
It's really that bad. There's nothing more demoralizing at first sight than Skid Row. I drove by there once, and I don't know what the story was. This dude took a guitar from some lady and broke it on the street.
What?
I don't know why. They were okay. So I stopped at a light. I can hear them to the side a little bit. He was mad at her for something. I don't know what. It looked like a personal argument that just escalated. He took the guitar that she had and broke it in the street.
Oh, that's so mean.
And it is. But that's not the worst thing about this. Skid Row. And if she's been out there, then she knows.
Oh.
The tent problem got so bad out there. We had tents on the freeway entrance, on the side of the freeway entrance. So this, if you haven't seen LA freeways, a lot of them have bridges over the freeway.
No, so I've never seen, like, I've seen big cities like Detroit and Baltimore, but I know LA is like a whole new world.
We have some spots out here where we got 6 lanes going each way. That's how big
I would be scared all of the time.
Yeah, it gets crazy out here, and there's always traffic. But the tent problem got so bad, they were lined up along the freeway. People were moving in on the side of the freeway because they didn't have anywhere else to go because the rest of LA was full. And LA is not a safe place. People would rather take their chances on the freeway.
Oh my God, that's horrifying. I would be scared all the time. Not even a joke. Black Phoenix, good morning. I was actually thinking about emailing you and checking on you, so I'm really glad to see you.
How you doing, buddy?
My God. The Orange Crush is 12 lanes on each side. What?
Mm.
I would die. Sometimes I get scared at a light that's just 2 lanes or 1 lane on each side.
Honestly, I think those are worse.
Oh.
I think when it's only a 2-way road, I actually think those are worse. The two lanes, 1 each way. Yeah, I actually think that's worse than 6.
I'm a nervous driver because may have caused a few accidents, may have been in a few, may have ran into a few things. Just saying.
I may have caused more than 1 airbag to deploy in my life.
Yeah, same. One other thing I definitely wanted to get to is I know you're not necessarily familiar with Silksong, right? Hollow Knight. But you know video games, right?
Oh yeah.
You know what's been going on with the pricing of video games. Like we've got GTA rumored to be the base game $100.
And I won't buy it.
Nah, I mean, but people will, and you know they will.
Some people will, but also remember the game's going to debut at 30 frames per second. So unless you get the PS5 Pro, then you will not see the full glory of the game.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yes. So now that says to me, remember, we went over this with Gotham Knights. There were performance issues. Yeah. So I'm sensing the game is going to be so big that they're at the expense of performance, they're going to make the game spatially larger. So that's why it's going to be 30 frames per second on the PS5. We didn't buy PS5s to just to settle for 30 frames per second. That shit's supposed to be, some games 120. When it depends on the setting, but minimum 60. So that means it's supposed to be a constant, smooth frame rate. You look at some of the best games; they've had constant, smooth performance. That isn't something I'm going to pay for. That's not something anybody should be paying for.
No,
$100 for one. The only time I've ever heard of people paying $100 or even $80 previously for video games was because that was supposed to come with a lot of bonus content you wouldn't otherwise get.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. We're talking about base game.
Yes, so base game alone, $100 for something that isn't even going to be. It's going to have performance issues. I'm calling that right now, and I have no interest in the game anymore. When you admit
I totally get
early
that.
on, you're going to have performance issues. You basically, why even bother? Why bother finish the game? How much of your money you think you're going to get? You really think you're going to get back? It's obviously going to be a big team. I don't know how many, hundreds or thousands, probably hundreds of people to go into it. You have a lot of people you owe money, but there is no way in hell at $100 minimum you're not going to break the records you need to pay back your whole team.
I think it's one of the most pretty sure it's the most expensive video game ever created too. I could be wrong there, but
at $100. Well, okay, I don't know about the budget for the game, but I know budgets are approaching $200 million on a regular basis, and that's a big problem because that's also why prices are going up. So prices are going up because the industry, they need those returns.
Well,
they have to raise the prices to get those returns. Otherwise, there won't be games. Now, to that point, I'm not even mad. If games are only going to get bigger and more expensive, and then at the same time, honestly, they get boring.
Yeah.
Like God of War I loved God of War, don't get me wrong. But if you try to do every little thing in the game just to max out the character, it gets really boring. It gets very repetitive. So I don't think making games bigger is better if we're just doing the same things over and over.
And that's kind of how I felt. And I had to do it by the Riddler trophies and like Arkham Knight and stuff. I loved them, but at a point you're like, holy shit. Like I'm looking for a walkthrough. The reason I mentioned
some of those are hard. No, that's
very.
Okay. That's also what throws you off because, like, I remember in Arkham City, there was one where you had to hit 6 switches in no time. Now for fact you can't do it from up above. Yep. But then you realize you get 3 batarangs, and then you get 3 different. You can set the explosive gel 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah. So then you go 3 batarangs, 3 explosions, and then you've done it. But you don't know that at the beginning of the game, and you can find that early on. So I understand why stuff like that's frustrating.
Yeah.
But at least when you get at least that didn't bother me. Arkham City, I think, if you try to do everything in the game, it'd be about 10 hours. And then for $60 back then, honestly, that's fine. I don't care that games go into 20 hours. Because
I don't care that I put hundreds of hours into games like Stardew Valley. I don't care about that. What I care is about, like, a lot of people are upset right now. Now, Hollow Knight, when it came out, it was beloved. It still is to this day. People have been looking forward to Silksong for years. Mind you, this is from a 3 developer team, right? Team Cherry is 3 developers. It did just come out. It's breaking records. It's one of the biggest. It's going to be the biggest game of the year. I can call it right now. It's a more independent game, but it's highly anticipated. What would you expect without knowing to pay for something like that?
For a 2D game, honestly, I wouldn't spend more than $40.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to spend more than $40.
It came out at 20.
It debuted at 20?
Debuted at 20. And people were shocked. I mean, naturally so, because of how games have been. But people were also pissed because they think it's going to affect other games and they're not going to be able to charge as much now. That's the controversy around it.
Yeah. Okay. I know what's going on. Yes. So what's happening is because the big names, the AAA producers, because they're jacking up the prices. That also justifies the little guys jacking up the prices.
Right, exactly.
So now, because this one is being released at only $20, and to my surprise too, like I said, $40 max is what I would have done. I was expecting more. We had $20. That's a steal. Yeah, it does make the little guys look worse. So I do see that frustration. But you know what? Tough shit. That's what a competitive market is, though. And I'm not into it. I'm not into this. These new price tags, $80. I'm not into it. Okay. The last Doom game, Dark Ages, that's the only time, because the series has been so good. How
was that, by the way?
It's fucking great. Now that you're playing first-person shooters, you should give that a shot.
Oh my god!
But again, wait a while till it goes on sale.
Yeah.
But other than that, if not, stick to Overwatch. Stick to Overwatch for a little while. But I just played Shinobi, which came out. It came out last week. That's Sega's best game in 20 years. Their last great game was the last Shinobi game 20 years ago. And it was like before Dark Souls came out, Shinobi was that game that was so hard. Like it was it was the most difficult game to date at the time. And that was also the attraction. The challenge was the attraction. So they actually beat that with this game, and it's a 2D game. The art looks great. The art actually does look really good, but my point is that game cost $26.
Oh, wow.
And it took me, and it is that hard. And I actually wanted to turn up the difficulty. You can't, you go straight to the hardest difficulty, but it's just a hard game, period. It's one of those games where you're going to lose over and over. Like it's designed so you have to.
And that's how Hollow Knight is too.
Yeah. Okay. So then I didn't play that, but I see the attraction then if it's one of those games. So
did you ever play like Celeste or anything like that? I think that would be a more fair. So it is a frustrating game. It's a Metrovania, but it's a lot of people are thinking that it's going to fuck up the indie market and fuck up prices in general because it only came out at $20. Tough
shit. If they're going to make a killing, first off, if this game is that good, I haven't played it. I think that one's free.
I've heard really good things about it. Like when I was looking up scary ones.
I have to play Alien Isolation. You have to play Shinobi. But it's the thing about Sega, though. They rarely do anything right. So now for them to finally do something right, and it's only $26. If you look around, all the acclaim is basically the same. It's almost perfect scores all around.
Right.
So people are loving the game. I love the game. I just found out there's a secret boss. I can't beat him yet. It's hard as fuck.
Right. Then why would you want to turn the difficulty up even more?
I just, out of curiosity, how much harder does the game get?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just out of curiosity, but it was really good. And here's also another thing. Most of the difficulty actually doesn't come from the combat. You have a lot of obstacles on the map. And those are designed so you basically have a split second to figure them out.
Right.
So if you haven't mastered the controls, midway through the game, you're not going to figure it out the first time. Like each one of those probably took me about 30 minutes. Because here's the thing: when you lose, you have to start the whole course over. Sometimes you get lucky.
Oh my god!
Halfway, yeah. So it's a bitch. But once you get into it, I think you like it. If you're one of those that really likes the challenge, you won't be upset. But you are going to lose, time and time again. But that
also is a draw in itself, right? The rage of it all. And that's kind of why I really got into Portals. That was really fun because it was like the satisfaction of actually getting that win is so worth it.
You didn't even play Portal 2. Portal 2 is a lot.
No, I haven't. But me and Steph are going to play it because I didn't know it's co-op. So I thought that would be really cool.
Yeah, but also play the story mode too. Just because GLaDOS is a star, she's just a star on her own.
She lied about the cake.
Yeah, the cake was always a lie.
I know. That was
the rat man told you on the wall.
Yeah,
said the cake is a lie. Anyway, so for this here, I say tough shit. I say good move. I've never played that Super Meat Boy.
I haven't played Super Meat Boy, but I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just a name at first glance where I think, well,
right, and you think it's gonna be some dumb game, and actually, it's really like beloved.
Like Super Meat Boy, that's something like you called, if you're a guy, you called yourself that in high school because you thought, you know what I mean? Super Meat Boy. That's why.
Oh my god. We know Joseph's nickname for himself now. Yep.
Anyway.
Oh wait, so for Portals 2, the story mode is single player.
Yeah, but
okay.
the co-op is separate. They're completely different puzzles.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're not playing the same game twice. It's completely different. The story mode, you're gonna go follow GLaDOS as she harasses the shit out of you, trying to torture you with puzzles. And the co-op, she doesn't even talk in the co-op, but they're just completely different puzzles. Like they're puzzles that are designed. You have to solve them with your partner. It's not a race. It's just like the other games you've been playing. They're puzzles you have to solve with your partner.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Okay, so what am I reading here? Who's this and why is she bitching?
And I'm just kind of illustrating people upset that that Silk Song was $20, and I think like I understand what they're trying to say, and I don't want to sound like I don't empathize with them at all. I understand what they're trying to say. They have to make a living too. But at some point, it's really nice to see that a company cares more about its consumer than they do necessarily they're lining their pockets. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. They care about the product. If it's one of those games that was really, if that was the allure of the game, that if that was the attraction, that it was so difficult that you're going to press yourself to do it just to prove you can do
it.
You don't want the game to beat you. You want to beat the game. If it's one of those, then it's absolutely justified. And more than that, if they're going to give you $20, is that just a launch price or is that a sale? Are we sure?
No, that's the launch price, and it's also on Game Pass for free. Like, they were trying to get it out there, and this is a game that has been just looked forward to by the community for so long.
But I'll tell you the other end of it. Try this one. You've heard me talk about the series Oddworld. You've heard me talk. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you briefly the story of Oddworld, because it's also one of those games that was so challenging that people loved it, especially when the first one came out on the first PlayStation. Nobody knew what to expect. Everybody loves what they got. And then the Sony asked for a sequel by next year. So on the first PlayStation, that's not impossible.
Right.
But they had to make some sacrifices because the developer and creator, he didn't get to tell the story he really wanted to tell. Then the gameplay changed. They went to Xbox, they went to full 3D. People liked it, but it wasn't the same experience. Then somewhere around 2015, 2016, they go into production for a new. It's a 2D style, so it's side to side, but it's still full 3D animated, and it's going to the PS4. It's going to the PS4 at the time, 2020. So, and there's a PS5 version too.
Right.
And this is big news because the game was so loved. However, the game was also, because its appearance or its presence in the market was just so periodic. It was sporadic. You hear about it, people love it, but then they just disappear. So coming and going all the time, nobody knew who the hell they were anymore, except the people who have always loved the game. Now, for something that big, personally, I thought they would have been treated a lot better, but especially because of the lockdowns, the pandemic going on in 2020, Sony didn't think the game was going to do more than 500,000 units. So they had no faith in the game whatsoever.
Right.
So they made the game free to play on PlayStation Plus. The game got 4 million downloads in record time.
Oh my God.
So that's also the other end of it. Like, when the industry doesn't believe in you, they treat you like shit. And then here you have for Silk Song, you have a game that apparently, and this is a sequel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is it the first sequel or is this a longer story?
It's the first sequel. Yeah. Okay. So it's the second game in the Hollow Knight.
So the fact that it's free to play somewhere, it's actually that says to me somebody believes in it. And $20. Well, honestly, there could be more to it. Maybe also people didn't believe in it. Maybe it's actually the same story as Oddworld. I don't know. But whatever went into the price, apparently it's not like that, though. Apparently they had a choice. It's just the launch price. They decided it should be $20. But you know what?
And they're killing it in sales.
And if people believe in you and they're going to buy it, okay, they're going to buy it. Now, they made the right move. They don't want to do they don't want to do just what others have done. They don't want to be priced like everybody else. They wanted to stand out. They made the right move. And I know that sucks for other developers, especially these are small teams. I bought a few smaller.
3 people, and it's already sold 5 million.
See, and these guys are doing great. Their bills are paid for sure. They're out of debt for sure. But you know what? That's the name of the game, though. Sorry, the competition they broke digital stores. See?
Yeah, they broke all the sales. Like it's just 3 million alone on Steam. Like just absolute insane numbers.
There's a lesson in there. Okay, if your game is between $38 and $40, and you're not making these kind of sales, I'm not even that you're breaking records, but if it's not even similar sales, that either says something about your product or your price. But if you can't beat the price, you can't beat the product. But people will go to Arco for shitty gasoline if they're the price is low.
Right, exactly. No, I didn't miss your super chat, I promise. Raymond said, I really like the idea of indie games, but I really wish they would make something that's not a side-scrolling Souls-like roguelike. It's annoying. So, I understand there are a lot like that, but you also have indie games like, okay, so you're probably not going to like any of my recommendations. There are a lot of indie cozy-esque games. You're also more of a PlayStation user too, so that also limits because you don't get like early access games and stuff like that. But there was also recently like Expedition 33. There was a couple really good indie games that were fairly like $40, like really well priced. So I mean, you just gotta look.
Yeah, I know they're out there, and it's hard. It's hard because we don't know who these people are, so we don't know what kind of chances we're going to take.
Right,
and
exactly.
That's another thing. If Silksong is an anticipated sequel, they had a name going for them.
Oh, absolutely, they did. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's also the hard thing about the indies. How do we believe in you for the first time? Like here, look at this. Like Sega is making a comeback, but Sega has always fucked up.
People are like,
well, they had the first they did everything first. They had the first 16-bit system, first 32 bits, then 128. And everybody looked at Sega and they just did something better. So because they were always first, now they're last. They barely do anything anymore. And now the few things they do right, they do stand out, but it's rare. So they don't learn.
Right, exactly.
Now you see that Virtual Fighter is coming back. That was the first 3D fighter. In fact, I think one of the guys from the first team ended up starting Tekken. I think it was
that's crazy. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah, but now Tekken became more beloved because the arcades were starting to fill up with the guys that like the more technical games. And Tekken was one of those games. So you had these 10 hit combos, 15 hits. All right, and then Virtual Fighter, it didn't have the same thing. And the Virtual Fighter, it's a simpler layout. Here's another thing. So they're coming back. They better not do full price games. If they go to full price games, they're going to be off the market again in no time.
Yeah, easily.
But if they stay half price, okay, if they stay fair, because most of the games should have never been full price anyway. If they learn from that mistake, they will stay. I did forget about the Yakuza series. That's true.
Yeah, that's a really popular one too.
But like I said, they do something right once in a while. Okay, but it's not everything they've ever done is not good. Not everything they've ever done. That's why they were off the market. They left the console race. They said
they were one of the biggest names to begin with.
Yeah, they used to run the arcades.
Yes.
Most games were Sega games in the arcades back then. But then, like I said, basically the consoles took over. But the whole thing is, though, they're bringing Virtua Fighter back. It's a simpler play style. It doesn't strike me as something that should be full price. Fighting games generally shouldn't be full price.
Right.
I don't think Mortal Kombat should not have been full price. They should just cut the dialogue down, cut the theatrics, and just let us fight.
That was such a disappointment too.
And maybe they could have just, saved money and made the online play better, more stable.
Exactly.
All
right, guys. We're going to wrap up for the day, but this was super fun. We're going to keep continuing to keep an eye on these trials. So we'll see about the PL or JT.
I don't know when Ronnie would get his appeal, because we're all finding out about this suddenly. But I bet you he's going to lose that too.
Yeah. Oh, easily. It'll be funny to make fun of him again. Come on now. Yeah. We know this.
Remember, he doesn't have to put forward any judgment. It's not like when you lose the civil trial, then you have to put down half of the third before you appeal.
Right.
This is completely free.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not going to cost him a thing. He'll happily fly out there and take another loss.
For some reason, our audio is getting choppy, and I don't know why. I'm glad it happened at the end and not the beginning. That's really, really weird. All right, guys.
Good catching up with you.
We will keep you updated. Yes, this was fun. We will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Thank you, Joseph.
No problem. Have a good one, guys.